Well, Vaughan, is obviously people are getting fed up. They've had enough. They really are having enough. Folks out there right now, we are just getting so many grumbles and rumbles. The rumors are out there. What happened up north? Gang member taking up some close friends and of female variety, I believe. Anyway, they've loosed the virus up there. Now people are upset now. They're talking, on social media, and they're getting a gutful. Now, what's caused all this? Well, there's been a great article in the paper just recently which caused the whole lot, and that's the government falling asleep, not bothering to get us the vaccine. So, Vaughan, mate, what's your thoughts?
Well, you kicked it off with Harry Tam and his contraband. So I guess that the media will be all over that over the coming days. And I guess that Northland will not be happy that there has been infected. But, let's get back to the bigger picture. Yes, Duncan Cottrell has written a great article in the Herald today, page C4. And, I recommend anyone who's got a chance to go and read it, get a copy. It is spot on. We've arrived at what I call, Max, a tipping point. And what I mean by tipping point is that moment when social behaviour not only changes, but it crosses a threshold and spreads like wildfire. The first sign of that tipping point was last Saturday when the idiotic protest by Brian Tamaki of the Destiny Church, within 48 hours of that protest happening, 153,000 people had signed a petition. That forced the hand of the police to throw the book at Tamaki. The public has had a gutsful. That was social behaviour changing. That's a massive response, which normally wouldn't be anything like that. 2 days later, on the Monday, the real tipping point. And that was our Prime Minister delivering the roadmap, which is supposed to be the pathway out of COVID. What we got was a very clear sign that roadways and pathways are not the forte of this government.
Oh, well, it's definitely the way. And look, I do agree that people are having enough. The more I'm in society, the more I'm talking to people and the feedback we're getting. I interviewed Duncan Garner last night and by God even showed it. But the feedback from his discussion, people are saying, oh, finally, someone's actually saying it as it is. Whereas you and I have been bleating on about this for weeks and weeks. But the government failed in their duty when they were wallowing in the glory of being hard and fast. And they sat back for 9 months and guess what? They did nothing. And that article that just came out recently saying they were asleep for 6 weeks, Pfizer were knocking on their door saying, hang on, do you want this or not? Do you want this or not? No one answered. No one from our government bothered to answer. And why are we in trouble now, Vaughan? Just for that reason.
Yep. No, that letter that was failed to be responded for 6 weeks. I mean, my God, incompetence like that inside bureaucracies, and MB's got 4,000 staff and there's 57,000 public servants. It's not uncommon. It happens every day. Don't know too much about that. But, coming back to the roadmap and the pathway.
But Vaughan, is that forgivable?
No, it's not. Well, hey, you get you fired in the private sector. It apparently just gets you swept under the mat in public.
If not promoted.
Yeah, that's right. Well, you see, it's probably not incompetent inside the bureaucracy. It's probably like, what you would call everyday people. So I think that, level 3 with takeaways and a picnic is not a pathway. And a pathway has time-bound targets that articulate clearly where we are today and where we want to be. And hey, Max, roadmaps and pathways are the sort of stuff small businesses just do every week. So I guess that the bit that I'm struggling with is it should not be so hard for a government that employs 57,000 people. They should be able to do spot on. So it's time to forget about lockdown levels 1 to 4. They've passed their use by date. It's time to throw out a clumsy and blunt lockdown instrument. I think the roadmap should use vaccination rate as the measurement of our pathway out of COVID. Here's an example. We're currently at around 50% vaxxed. We should aim for 60% by November 1 with retail reopening and the 2 metre rule abiding. By 70% by December 1 with all retail reopening, gyms, hairdressers, 2 metre rule going out the door. 80% by January 1, fully vaxxed, people can cross borders and stuff like that. But the gist I'm trying to say, use the vaccination rate of how we free up and allow the economy to breathe and open up again. This is the bit that we in the business community, we need to see those what you call milestones and give us a target and we'll go for it. There are no targets in this roadmap. It's wishy-washy.
There's one thing that's really obvious to me, and this is the lack of the ability to lead. Now, Vaughan, you've run, Vaughan, a pretty high-powered organisation, and you had to steer that organisation through thick and thin, through troubled waters and out the other side. And what you do as a leader, a true leader, is actually look ahead, and you've got to anticipate what's going to happen, and you've got to plan for it and be ready for it. And that's where
Yeah.
we're lacking at the moment. And that's that lack of experience. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Jacinda, being in a fish and chip shop hasn't done it for you. And you do need to get some guidance. But look, you've got so much ability to draw people around you that actually have that knowledge and ability. Please lean on and
Yeah.
use it. Don't rely
Yeah,
on
the
health
point,
officials
yes,
only. You
that's
need
right.
to have that drive and ability for business as well.
Yes, Max.
What you
I
saying,
mean, the
mate?
talent, the talent is in the government. Across the 57,000 people that the Crown employs, talented people, right? It's unleashing that talent. We can do it. The current situation, what happened on Monday, and then as it was nitpicked, I'm talking the roadmap and the pathway, it actually patronised the population. And furthermore, it's actually accelerating that change in social behaviour. If you put your finger on the pulse of the economy, this is the tipping point that we're feeling: lethargic, exhausted, tired, fed up, had a guts full. The government should absolutely look at what's going on this week as a warning shot across their bow, because once social behaviour changes and builds, manifests, it's eggs that you cannot unscramble. It'll be the pendulum swing. And, this is not actually a political situation. This is actually an observation of it. There's a flatness out there. There's a flatness that, you've got to, like, we need to put the defibrillator on the economy, get ourselves going again. A vague pathway and roadmap that loses the confidence of the public, that is the tipping point. It's the doubt that the ideas are actually down there in Wellington. That doubt has to actually be removed, and that's the challenge that we need to put to our government.
So, Vaughan, I would say stand by for civil disobedience. I think it's going to be massive in our society. Hey, mate, thanks very much. We'll catch you in a couple of days.
Hey, thanks, Matt. Yeah, we'll keep in touch. You have a good weekend, bro.
See you later, folks.
Yeah, brother.